Thought I might throw on the old intro for fun. Does it give you that Dylan vs. Comics nostalgia? That might sound dumb, and it is, but it's been almost 10 years since I started making videos. I am unk status, as the cool kids say. Does that make my old videos retro? I don't know, you be the judge of that. Well, anyway. Am I really about to do this? Well, whatever. G'day, gals and guys of the internet. It is I, Dylan vs. Comics. There, that's all you're getting. Did I seriously say that at the start of every video for almost 4 years straight? My god, I was so cringe. Well, now that that cringe is over with, hey, how's it going? So, as is clearly evident by now, I'm not really into this whole YouTuber thing as I was when I was ages 13 to 16-ish. Neither am I into story times, basically at all. And even though I'm thinking I may end up making some more videos in the future, maybe, it's just going to be a really casual thing and be pretty low effort stuff that I just make in the heat of the moment. Kind of like this video. So my storytime days are behind me, and so are my super cool 10th grade YouTuber days. But I thought I might give some kind of send-off to the videos I used to love making and to any of the subscribers that liked watching them, and actually bother to click on this video, with some never-before-seen classic 2019 Dylan vs. Comics content. Oh, so cool. These are a small handful of videos that I had initially planned to finish and upload in 2019. I do know that there's technically some more quote-unquote unfinished videos, but a lot of it is stuff I either lost or never recorded audio for, so yeah, I'm only including the ones that I still have around. I might do something with those old scripts I wrote for videos back in 2018, like perhaps just read off some of the scripts and have a laugh at my past 15-year-old self for being cringe, I don't know. Something to think about. So let's just kick back and have a laugh at these old cringe, never-before-seen videos of mine when I was about 16 or so. First one up is probably the most unfinished of the lot. It's a single audio-only scene from an English class stories video. Though the most ironic part is that this particular story doesn't even take place in English class, it was in legal studies, so yeah, that's kinda dumb. And if you want even more of an indicator of just how bad I was at making videos, half the audio from this video is from 2019, and the other half was recorded by my friend in 2020. So an entire year it took to do just one scene of one video that never ended up getting finished anyway. It'll just be 99% audio for this one. Some of the other videos will have some semblance of an animatic done for certain scenes, but get used to seeing just a black screen. Think of it like a really cringe podcast with myself playing audio from my high school self. Anyway, here's the first video. Enjoy, I guess.
So, one lesson in legal studies last year, our teacher was reading out a murder case which we had to do a quiz on. So, you know, actually teaching the class. Meanwhile, okay, so you know on Max how you can make the cursor really big by moving it rapidly? Well, me and my friend Katniss, she really likes Hunger Games, were doing it so fast we were practically breaking our fingers doing it. But then...
What the heck are you two doing?
We're making our mouths bigger. You know, when you rub it back and forth and it gets really big.
And back to 2026. Okay, next up is the longest one, and also the oldest one, and that's Dylan vs. Flirting 2. Yes, a sequel to my quote-unquote first video. I was originally going to upload this on the 1-year anniversary, but then in classic Dylan vs. Comics fashion, I just never finished it beyond the audio and the first handful of frames. So yeah, sit back and enjoy the 2019 cringy flirting stories, because unlike the last one, this is a full-length video with all the stories intact. Here it is.
Creeper.
Okay, she's right there. I need to say something, but I don't know what. Hey, G'day, gals and guys of the internet. It is I, Dylan vs. Comics. And yes, I know. In this little video here, that's like from a year ago and is pretty cringeworthy, I said, and usually never do it often. However, there's like plenty of other stories I can tell about this topic, so... Dylan vs. Flirting 2 Electric Boogaloo, here we go. So I'm not sure if all countries have this or not, But over here in the land down under, we have this little thing called Transition Day, where students go to the grade ahead of them for a day and do some older grade stuff, whatever that may entail. Now, even though most primary schools consist of prep to grade 7, our grade was the first to have year 7 be part of high school. So we had to go to an all 12 grade high school for transition day, because we're big kids now. Despite the fact that we still had like another 6 years ahead of us, so that was a lie. Anyway, so because of this, we had to visit our new school, Hufflepuff, for a day, and we had to participate in a few classes, one of which was dance, and, well, I think the teacher overestimated our social skills. She basically told us we had to partner up with someone of the opposite gender, and like tango them or something. And what made matters even worse, she asked us to, get this, romantically ask them to dance. Did this teacher not get that basically none of us knew each other and were also, like, I don't know, in 6th grade? So I walked my long neck looking self up to this one girl and in my stupid Mr. Bean sounding voice at the time was like, shall we dance? Lesson of the day, don't do this. What's even worse is that we're like friends now. So here's to hoping she's not watching this video. So I was very much a loner back then, but flash forward about 2 years to year 8 and I'm still pretty much a loner. Just taller, and somehow more lonely. So I was chilling in class, doing work, listening to Barbie Girl by Aqua and repeat, doing excessive bottle flips, you know, just the normal 8th grade stuff. And then, a girl walks over to me.
NANI?!
So this was actually one of 5 new kids we had in our class. And I'm gonna be completely honest, I low-key liked her at the time. So I was pretty confused as to why she was approaching me. I love you. Did she just confess to me?
Yeah, boy!
JK, I was dead to do that, sorry, mate.
I think we can all agree that creepy emails from people we don't know are pretty weird. However, I personally go under the philosophy that almost every single embarrassing situation, or really just any situation whatsoever, is made worse when you know the person. But what if I told you that it's somehow even more embarrassing, even more weird, and even more creepy when it's from yourself? How though? You see, last year a bunch of my friends got some concerning emails that were stated to be from their own email address. Some of them being pretty damn spicy. One of my friends, who we'll call Soccerball, ended up having a full-blown conversation with this person pretending to be him, who ended up mistaking him for a woman and asked him for, and I quote, pictures of nuds and butt. 10 out of 10 English. On the subject of creepy emails, fairly recently I was just minding my own business in visual art, when all of a sudden I get an email. Considering the fact that this email was from a girl I barely talked to, I was conflicted on what to do, to say the least. I ended up taking a screenshot of the email and sent it to my friend Playschool Boy because I didn't know what to do in that situation. As it turns out, during Playschool Boy's class, he had explained to the entire classroom how his laptop was on 69%, because reasons, but as he went to screenshot it, it had already turned to 68%, which was just the epitome of oof. However, wouldn't you know it, a girl in the class also had only 69% left on the laptop, and Playschool Boy told her to screenshot it and send it to me because memes. So as I was just writing this part of the script, she sent another one, and dear lord, this is gonna become the death of me. Okay, so you know those girls in high school that are all like,
oh my god, I'm like so ugly, ugh.
So one of my classmates, who we'll call a lizard, trust me, it makes sense in context, was going on sarcastically complaining about how much life sucks, or something. And she must not have been all there that day because she said some interesting stuff. You know, my life really sucks. Like, everyone forgets I exist. I look like a slug. I'm a living meme. I'm gonna be forever alone. Like, I wish that bird would just fly over and just mate with me. This girl literally said she wanted to fluff a bird. Now, she was obviously joking, of course, but it makes me wonder if me saying she'd be the last girl I'd take to the school formal had any effect on this. Why, hello there everyone. I just got done finishing recording the audio of this video, and I hope you enjoyed said video that you just watched, and I haven't written some notes for this end card like I normally do, but oh well. Anyways, I'm going to try and get back into a normal video schedule, and maybe the videos before this video were semi-decent in upload schedule, and I basically have no idea what I'm saying right now. What you are seeing on the screen may be fan art, it may not be fan art. I honestly don't know what's being on the screen right now, because all I'm seeing is just the audio waves of the audio program that I'm looking at right now. Yeah, so that's basically all that I have to say for this video. Sayonara.
The third video is another video from 2019. It's reading cringe old comments, which is kind of funny since the age gap between me now and the me that recorded the audio is the exact same amount of years as the age gap between the me that recorded the audio and the me that wrote the comments. In fact, it might even be bigger now. And to make matters even more confusing, I rediscovered these comments and took photos of them a whole year earlier than when I made the video about them. So it'll say 5 years ago, when by now it's actually more like 13 years ago. It's like 3 layers of cringe and confusion. Alright, let's play the video.
Hello. Hi. Salutations. Greetings. G'day. Insert other fancy greeting here. It's the Dylan. It's the verses. It's the comic. It's the comments. It's the comment that the Dylan that the verses that the comics made when he... Okay, I'm just gonna stop this little shtick here. Hi, so this is different. I was transferring some documents from a couple old laptops, but then I suddenly had the terrific idea of taking a trip down memory lane and looking at my old YouTube account, which was actually my mum's. Yep. Anyway, so I was gonna read some of the old interesting comments I used to write on videos. Keep in mind I was about 10 when I commented these, so yeah, hooray for excuses.
It's not a spiny, it's a buzzy beetle.
Technically true.
By the way, happy birthday, you're not old Duckford.
Timothy. How the heck did you survive having me in your comment sections? Despite the lack of grammar everywhere else, you do get bonus points for the use of asterisks, though considering this subreddit exists, that's probably not a good thing.
I stopped halfway in the video, so yeah. Embarrassed much, smile lol, remember I am the great mighty Pooh that laugh in Skyward Sword is weird.
For context.
This was made a year ago, so don't vote.
Whoa, hold up. Are you seeing this? This comment has a good point?
You said like, but 18 people disliked, haha.
Forget what I said.
Wait a minute, Chocola Cola is a reference to Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga because of the colas.
Indeed it is, though you might want to spell minute correctly next time.
DEEMES is just a redhead version of a fighter in a fighting game.
How though?
Forest Temple completely sucks and you didn't put my favorite Skyward dungeon Lana Umine Facility Essily the best dungeon, nobody understands me.
Also no, Forest Temple does not suck, it's pretty good.
I like Lanari Mining Facility.
As if we couldn't tell already.
Ha ha ha.
Oh great, internet slang from 2013, oh great!
I saw him lick his swords.
No, you didn't. You saw Girahim lick his swords, not
Hi smiley face happy face.
I'm a creeper actually. Boom.
I live in Australia and I don't want it to be out in 2099. That's probably when the Cringey 645,454 Microtron Pickup Nintendo console thing will be coming out.
If Nintendo doesn't release the Cringey 645454 Microtron Pickup by 2099, I'll be a very sad old man.
This was made a effing long time ago, so don't effing vote Martin Afraid, Dee Robin and Ethan Chun.
It's all you now, I'm joking.
Batman would win because he has thousands of kryptonite.
You're wrong, PK, come on my $20.
And your soul.
Phonies! Yeah, you don't say.
First, yes, I'm first, I am awesome.
No, you're not.
Do 9/20/19/13/5 it's me turned into numbers.
Yes, I knew that from that last Freddy animatronic the next one would be Bonnie. Who knows, maybe Chica next.
Okay, I think we're done here. So, how did you like that? Different from the usual storytime stuff I usually do. I'm probably going to try and do more of these non-storytime videos in between storytimes, because storytimes have gotten a lot more intensive and longer to make because improvements to animation or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I might do them more sometime. So anyways, sayonara.
There's also this video I made in 2022 when I was 20 years old, and it may just be more cringe than the ones that I made in high school, because listening back on it, I was trying way too hard to be funny and quote my old videos. And honestly, I'm really glad I never finished this one, because if I did, it would have just meant I would have become an extremely washed up old YouTuber trying to relive his glory days from high school. So yeah, I'm glad I didn't go down that road. But alas, I'll drop all the audio that I did for it anyway, because why not? I believe the topic of this video was meant to be something along the lines of why turning 20 is also the worst, or some shit, I don't know. So yeah, let's play it and we can cringe together. Well, where have I been? Playing too much Xenoblade, I guess.
Show me your gritty.
I am currently hitting the gritty.
Back to the girlfriend's basement you go. Alright. So, no more animating an iMovie, no more using photo booth as a microphone. So, looks like it's finally a good enough time for the proper celebration of reaching 150 subscribers. Oi bro, you got 150 subs 2 years ago. Wait, I did? Oh yeah bro, you actually got up to 169, but you know, you lost a few. Well damn. Hey, wait a minute. I just remembered how I managed to hit a major milestone. Something I've been anticipating for the past year, thinking it would never come. This is sounding kind of familiar. Guys, we've just hit my birthday. Yes, as of uploading this video, I'm officially 20. You heard that right. I am indeed 2 decades old, a quarter of the way through my life, theoretically, and no longer able to post on r/teenagers. These are sad days. You would think about how turning 20 is kind of a big milestone, like 2 decades, you know? But of course, all that focus is put on 21. However, it's not like 21 will actually be all that different. If you live in America where you can't drink until you turn 21, then yeah, sure, I guess that makes sense. But like, in Australia, what else can you do at 21 that you couldn't do when you were 20? Other than like you can now own 2 capybaras, which isn't an actual law, but I'm sure there'd be plenty of people that wish it was. And yeah, I get the lack of importance of these birthdays as you grow older, because 21-year-olds literally might be the same as 19-year-olds, you know? But when you were 12, you were completely different from those 14-year-olds in basically every step of the word. They might as well have been another species, so to say. Of course, after you turn 18, unless you have a family that especially likes to celebrate and do big stuff for big milestones, whenever these milestones happen, there's really nothing else that's going to be special going on other than, oh look, I'm 26, guess my therapy is more expensive now. So since I've been in the ether that is university study, the past 2 years, I might as well talk about my 18th since I haven't had the chance to talk about it. So I turned 18 literally right after my graduation, and my sister was actually going to come down for her birthday, but alas, she didn't get the chance to have a birthday with the fam yet. So we had a joint birthday to celebrate the two big milestones of both 18 and 21 at once with a lot of the family. And you know, it was actually decent and acceptable for once in the past 10 years of my birthdays, compared to all the other birthdays where I've had some sort of big celebration, and the ones where I've decided not to have a celebration because that goes against my entire personality. And of course, it helped that it didn't make me feel greedy or entitled because it wasn't just my birthday. And you know what? At the end of the day, I would actually say it was a pretty decent birthday, even if it did pull me away from Age of Calamity. But hey, I stopped caring about that game once I realized it wasn't canon anyway. You know, they were probably onto something there. I mean, what else could you want out of the perfect birthday other than your sister's friend just randomly rocking up extremely drunk? But of course, it was 2020, so of course things went wrong. The family that isn't even related to me decided to do a separate celebration on the date of my actual birthday, and then just literally invited themselves over to have dinner. And word of advice, inviting yourself to someone that clearly doesn't want you to be there is just kind of a dick move. Suffice to say, I had enough extended family that isn't even related to me for 1 week. So I just sort of had dinner inside while my sister was the only other family member in the household to actually understand the concept of unwelcome celebrations. Because if literally inviting yourself over to someone else's birthday that they didn't want for and they already had a celebration for isn't unwelcome, then I don't know what is. But that was my 18th. And we all know the cool things that you can spontaneously do from that. But what about when you turn 20? I suppose that's not a super widely known thing, I guess. So let's see here. 17 important and fun things you can do when you turn 20. Save for retirement. Get financially savvy. Reduce debt. Okay, why are these all finance based? Like, bro, are you just meant to spontaneously have a Sigma grind set as soon as you turn 20? Because all of these are looking like some ultimate business strategy for cool kids in their early 20s. Like, come on, this doesn't even seem like the right list anyway. Stay fit. Okay, a bit different. Get malicious threats from Goofy. Okay, here we are, a bucket list of fun things for 20-year-olds to do. Take a road trip. Play in the rain. Cry in the rain. Cry not in the rain. Just cry in general. Get bitches. That's a lie, you just keep crying. Lose all your friends. Like that would never happen. But no, seriously, if you're good friends with someone, just stay in touch every now and then. Especially if you're in your 20s and you can easily just forget someone's existence just because you didn't talk to them. Automatically assuming the worst is probably not gonna help, especially if you already have a crippling mental state. Wise words. Probably, I don't know. On a similar note, I think it's also important to say that relationships before you turn 20 are, surprise surprise, not the most important thing in the world. Because, come on, do you really count anything before high school as a proper relationship? And even then, high school relationships might as well not count either. Because chances are Brittany from science class wasn't the dream girl you thought she was, because how dare she sing in the shower? And as much as I want to say that turning 20 will somehow erase all the silliness that comes with relationships, then I'm sorry to tell you that is sadly not the case, if r/relationships is anything to go by. I promise I'm not a Reddit mod. And that's why I'm glad to tell you that being single while you're in your early 20s is actually more than okay. Because starting potential long-term relationships when you are older and more mature and understand your life better is overall pretty dope. And of course, as the old motto goes, if your life is arse when you're single, don't expect your life to magically stop being arse when you're dating someone. Because chances are, your life is still going to be arse. Because who needs a girlfriend when you have Xenoblade? But Dylan, I absolutely need a GF now. Trust me, as enticing as being able to huggle your absolutely dreamboat of a washed up TikTok girlfriend is, just make sure that you are in a lovely, healthy relationship and you're not just using each other to tickle each other's throats. Pretty self-explanatory. But hey, what do I know? I guess I'm not exactly qualified to be giving relationship advice. Because after all, I don't have a certificate in TikTok. I'm only 20. Next video dropping not 3 years from now, but next week, hopefully, probably, possibly, maybe. Yeah, I ain't going anywhere just yet. Except now, because I kinda have to end the video. And finally, to round things out for today, I'm going to play you all some bloopers that I've had archived for the past 7 years that I was initially saving for some kind of 100 subscriber special, but then I never ended up doing any more subscriber specials, so you're going to get it here.
It's the Dylan. It's the verses. It's the comic. It's that Oh, and it was also socially acceptable to... What the oh, God. Oh, that hurt. I had to go out of my closet or cupboard or whatever to record that line, but then so it sounded far away, but then I just hit my headphone, which has my ear encapsulated in it, against my entire skull, and it kind of hurt, to be honest. Whoa, Dylan versus Comics is doing something with his life. I never expected that. Better get back into my recording closet. Oh. Gotta get so sweaty now that it's spring. Should have done this when it was winter. But this video didn't exist when it was winter. I only wrote the script just now. Oh. It's hard fitting into this anymore because I'm just so tall, man. I'm 8'3". Yeah, totally. That's totally a realistic measure. I'm so funny right now.
Wow, weren't those bloopers just so funny? I can hear the laughter from here. Well, this video is long enough as it is, so I'll keep the conclusion brief. If you made it all the way to the end of the video and actually sat through all this cringe classic Dylan versus Comics goodness, then I sincerely apologise. And hey, since I said the old intro, I might as well say the old outro. Sayonara.